the charges against me. Even then, I'm not apologetic. I said, I went to Permatampong during the campaign. I said, Alhamdulillah. They said, how can you say praise to God? You're being smeared with the malicious, careless attacks. I said, Alhamdulillah. Because they've attacked me, my character, my family. But Alhamdulillah, praise to God, praise to God. They say, why? Because at least they associate me with human beings, women, men, and thank God they have not created this story about my relations with cows and goats. With this bunch of jokers, is the only way you respond. You take it seriously, too seriously. You get hypertension. Now, so the issue, how did I respond in Parliament when I was attacked? And Khalid was attacked severely too, as you know, a betrayal to the Malay cause. I said, look, I was invited early last year by the governor of Medina to speak at the International Forum on Islamic Education. There were great scholars, Muslims from all over the world, from the Middle East, from Arab world, from Iran, from United States, from Europe, and some non-Muslim scholars. But then, the Saudi authorities appointed a former Vice-Chancellor, the National University of Singapore, a Chinese, to be a Vice-Chancellor of this new university. So I asked the governor, I said, Your Royal Highness, got proper, why did you decide to have this Chinese Vice-Chancellor? I didn't want to say it's against Malay supremacy, I didn't say that. I said, when you have so many other brilliant Arabs or Muslims, his reply is, we are inviting many of the top academics, Muslims, Arabs, to come and teach in the university. I said, but why a Chinese Vice-Chancellor? He said, look, Anwar, it's simple. None of these great academics or scholars have had that experience of managing a university. This Chinese Vice-Chancellor had the experience. We want to utilize this experience for a few years and meanwhile train Saudis or Arabs. Now in Malaysia, if I say that, I say, my God, since when have you sold your Malay interest in Malay? That's why I come in the Malay party. I have to attend the wedding. I think at the rate I'm going, I better go and use my song all the time. But I wouldn't use a white cap because they want Khalid Samad to use. So, but the point is, we want the country to succeed. If I appoint, for example, a Chinese Vice-Chancellor of the University of Utara, his responsibility is to ensure that Malay undergraduates, Chinese and Indian undergraduates, all of them improve and enhance levels of proficiency and quality education. Is this the discourse today? No. The discourse remains an obsolete propaganda, controlled and dictated by UMNO. Do you have an opportunity to assess and evaluate our views? No, because the media remain under the tutelage of UMNO, MCA, and Tamil Nation, MIC. They dictate the discourse. So we have what Edward Said used to stir a subaltern culture, internet, alternative media, the discourse and conversations among those who have the commitment and conviction, a strong sense of conviction to undertake change. That's why governance is a critical issue. Let's move on to the economy. What was the issue? It's a loss of competitiveness. we have lost. The issue is not just new economic policy. The issue that the country as a whole lost its competitiveness, lost its competition with our neighbors. In the late 70s and early 80s, we were same threshold. Malaysia, Singapore, Taiwan, and South Korea. That's a fact. Of course, we were far ahead as compared to Indonesia, Somalia, Bangladesh. So this is a non-issue. A friend of mine, professor from Ann Harbor, a very prominent black American intellectual, Sherman Jackson, who was here for the IKIM organized conference. And he was telling me it's a big fanfare, very well attended opening ceremony, and then everybody disappeared. But it's very important message that he shared with me on the issue of affirmative action. Yeah, these scholars, we are not against helping the poor and the marginalized. And I would reiterate, without apology, the vast majority of the Malays and the Bumiputra in the heartland of Sabah, Sarawak, Manipurai remain poor. Indians living in deplorable conditions, destitute in some of the estates. Chinese in pockets of poverty in the urban areas and centers in the midst of plenty. Now we are not ignoring those who talk about competitiveness, growth, without paying any regard to the problems of the poor, do not share our concern or compassion for the principle of equitable justice. But here you must acknowledge the fact that we have lost. We were at the same threshold. Many of my Arab friends, including Herman Jackson, this renowned scholar, said he is impressed looking at Malaysia compared to Muslim countries in Africa. I said, yes, it's true. But then I told him where we began and what was our threshold in our competition. When I talk about competitiveness, losing our competitiveness, I'm talking about precisely the level we should be in now. Now, compared to Singapore, GDP, we are left behind 3 times for a small city-state. Look at the reserves. No petroleum, no gas, no timber, no ladang kelapa sawit. Almost $500 billion of reserves. They lost probably $100 billion. They still have 400 billion. We have Petronas, huge sums of money. 30% initially wealth, now 40% total revenue for Petronas. Timber, we have lost most of them. But huge $1 billion industry. Without having to do anything, nobody grew them. It was or planted the timber. They was there. Not much initiative to get petroleum from our west. It was there. Yes, success in industrialization, trade, I recognize that. But how much in terms of reserve? 22 billion. Can't we ask these questions? These are and will remain fundamental questions. Why Singapore, with all its limitations, you tell me, issue governance, I have some criticism against Singapore, but we have to acknowledge their strength. That is the issue of governance. And I know the UMNO sentiments. I was there for some time. You can compare with Thailand or Somalia or Bangladesh. Never, never compare Malaysia to Singapore. They will say, look, Anwar, the criticism. It's not about Singapore having been able to manage itself well, but how do we have this audacity to compare us, the Malay leaders, with this proud Malay and great culture, to these Chinese in Singapore, this small city-state, I'm sure you have read Mahathir's blog from time to time. But these are stark realities we have to acknowledge. There's no reason why we cannot compete. My point here, when you talk about change, we're not talking about some minor changes or facade or populist remarks. Whether this change are substantial enough or substantive enough, they could trigger this new spirit and then regain our competitiveness as a vibrant, dynamic economy.